Welcome to our July monthly budget with me. Today we are building our monthly budget for the month of July. Now usually I build this with the Budget Babes, and we are meeting on Sunday this week, and we'll be closing out our June budgets and building our July monthly budgets together, but I'm getting a head start on mine so that I can post this video before July begins.
Hi, I'm Megan with Bethel Budgets. I'm here because it's more than just math. At some point, you've probably built a budget. You've laid out your income, you've laid out your expenses, and thought it's simple math. I'll just stick to what's on the paper. But then life happened and your budget didn't work out. The reason? Because it's more than just math. That's where I come in. Let's figure this out together. Don't give up. You've got this.
There are a few things that I want to remind you to budget for and include in your July monthly budget. I have a whole video about July budgeting tips that you can go watch. I'll link it below. But a few things really quickly that I want you to remember are Independence Day. If you are the type to go to fairs or buy fireworks, have you budgeted for that? Make sure that you've included that in your July monthly budget or consider building a sinking fund for this for next year. The second thing that I want you to think about is back to school shopping. It's coming and it's expensive, and with inflation, it's going to be even more so this year. You need to start planning for that now and include that in your July monthly budget, even if you're going to shop in August, just so that you can get a step ahead in preparing financially for that. It'll be a mini sinking fund for like a month, but also create a sinking fund for that for next year. You should always have a back to school sinking fund. And the third thing is vacations. I know I'm going on vacation in July, and I've been saving up for that all year long. My goal was to reach $3,000 in spending money. We got to $2,500-ish. So that we didn't quite make our goal, but we had so many emergencies come up this year. I'm proud of us for getting as far as we did. I think we can stick to that budget. It's $500-ish off from what we planned. So I want you to start planning for those things. Now, if we hadn't had a sinking fund and been preparing for that all year, there's no way we could have had $2,500 coming out of this July monthly budget. So think about what you do have going on in July that you can put in your monthly budget, that you need to put in your monthly budget. Everything else you need to prepare for all year long. You know that vacations happen this month. So for 2025 or for next year, please plan ahead and start putting a sinking fund together for next year's vacation. So let's jump into our monthly budget. On the screen here, you can see my budget spreadsheet that I've built. It has a ton of tabs, so to keep me from scrolling, I have a table of contents. I'm just going to go ahead and click on my July monthly budget and we'll start building that together. But if you're new here to my channel, please subscribe and then let me know down in the comments that you are a new subscriber so I can personally welcome you to my channel. I'm so glad that you're here. I hope that you grab your pencil and paper or your budget Google spreadsheet and start budgeting with us. Join us every month and build your budget with us. So let's get into this. This is my Google spreadsheet. So I'm going to be plugging in my planned numbers here. The first thing I always do is check that my income sources are correct. And I've built a master copy that I always update. So last month I added new things like swim lessons and pay chores. So I already updated those in my master copy, and I made a copy of that master copy for July so that I don't have to update all of these categories every single month. So in my original one, like all of this, water was one bill, sewer was one bill, and trash was one bill because not everybody's are combined. Mine is one bill for water, sewer, trash. So if I had to change that every single month, I would find that really annoying. So I update my master copy one time, and then I'm just copying my master copy every single month. The next thing I check is my due dates to make sure that all of my due dates are correct. Most of them don't change, so they're plugged into my master copy and they're just copied right along. However, some of them do change. My kids get their income from me on the second Saturday of the month. So I need to open up my calendar. The second Saturday of July is the 13th. So I need to plug in that due date. And I put 13th because of this being a master copy, that I am just constantly copying the master copy over and over. So if you notice all of my due dates, they don't say July 7th or July 2nd because the master just says the 7th, and then I can copy that every single month and it's not a problem. This is the only one I really need to change because the second Saturday of the month, I guess I could just write second Saturday in there, but I like to have a number, so I go ahead and fill that in every single time. So this monthly budget is actually going to be a little bit different. I'm making some more adjustments to our monthly budget, so bear with me as I figure out some new numbers yet again, as my income has changed a couple times this year when I was working with getting my HSA contributions sorted out. And now my husband's income has changed. We're gonna start taking $100 a month extra out of his. And then we've just got some extra things like swim lessons and pay chores to put in. So we've got some new numbers to play with and figure out. Last month, when I built my June monthly budget, I ended up going back in the middle of the month because I added swim lessons, I added pay chores, and the mosquito treatment, which I should change. The mosquito treatment was more than I had budgeted for. And so those three things were enough for me to feel like I really did need to go back and change my budget. Most of the time I just managed the changes on the back end, like I had extra money or I had less money, and then I managed that at the end. But that was enough things that I felt like it was worth changing the actual monthly budget and replanning. So I did that. It was about a week and a half in. So if you saw my weekly paycheck closeout video, you can see how that kind of messed up my weekly paycheck closeout, but hopefully when I do my June monthly budget closeout, it will have benefited me to have made those changes. Now I'm going to get to plan ahead for the month of July. So I'm going to plug in our income and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so I've got our income plugged in and that is a new amount. Let's see. So I need to refigure our tithe, which is next. So our tithe then is going to be $706. So we tithe 10%. I'm going to take my emergency fund, and my goal is to, or not my emergency fund, I'm sorry, my emergency fund is fully met. I'm going to take my lump sum sinking funds. My goal is always to put 10% of our net income into our lump sum sinking fund. So I'm going to go ahead and put 706, which would be our 10%, in there now. When we get to the end of the month, hopefully I'll have more to put in, but that is my starting goal. So water, sewer, trash is an every other month bill. So every month I put $150 in the monthly budget, and then the save months, I'm saving $150 in my checking account, and the pay months, I'm also putting $150 in the monthly budget for that, and then I pay the bill, and then whatever's left over I get to put into savings, or I put it in my buffer. It just depends on where I'm at and what I need to do with that. Natural gas gets $65. Electricity is $149. My natural gas bill and my electric bill are both on budget billing. I highly recommend it. Pause this video, go get yourself on budget billing, and come back. What they do is they take your usage for the past year and they average it out over the year, and so they divide that up into your monthly payment. So you're budgeting the same amount every single month. So you're not paying $250 one month and $50 the next month. It's the same, so it's easier to budget for. You get to the end of the year, if your usage was less, you get a credit, or they prorate it, and then they readjust your budget billing amount for the next year. If you pay more, then you might have to pay more on that last bill, but it's based on last year's usage, so it's not going to be that much more. So I highly recommend budget billing to everybody. Pause this video, go get yourself on budget billing, and come right back. Now, my internet, that is, I'm going to budget $50. I've been budgeting $50 for the last 3 months because every month I get this letter that says your grant is up and you will be paying your old amount, which was $49.99 or something like that for our internet. So we had been getting this grant, making our internet bill only $19.99, which was fabulous. But they keep telling me that's over, and then I need to plan for the $49.99. So I have been, and then I keep getting this grant. So, I mean, I'll take it. I'll take the I'll take the discount as long as I can, but I'm gonna go ahead and plan for the worst and hope for the best. Okay, groceries. I am tired of our grocery bill being outrageously overspent. We have, a couple of months ago, we did an Eagle Eye watch for 3 months. So our grocery budget was $1,200. We have 6 people in our house, and we do not eat prepackaged processed things. We eat only whole foods, and we have a lot of food allergies and a lot of, we can't have processed things. So many things going on in our house that we spend a lot of money on food. We eat expensively, and that's okay. We do that. It's a price we're willing to pay for our health. $1,200 worked out for a really long time, but all of a sudden we started going over our grocery bill by $300 to $500 every single month. So we were going to watch our grocery bill for 3 months and see what was actually going on. Are we just overspending? And then within those 3 months, we managed to keep it in. By the third month, we were right at $1,200. And I was like, okay, maybe we can do this. And I left it. And then the next month we were over again. And then the next month was May, and we just totally blew everything out of the water. And I'm tired of going over in our grocery bill. So we're going to up it. We're going to up it to $1,500. And that hurts. It hurts a lot. It feels really, really, really bad. Now, in order to make this work out for us, we're going to lessen our dining out. So we usually plan $200 for our family dining out. And that gets us about one time of dining out. So we're going to we talked about having that amount, but honestly, that wouldn't get us one time out at a restaurant as a family of 6. However, our date nights, we can start going a little cheaper. So we're going to have that one. And then our fellowship will take a little bit off of that too. We used to assign $100 for that, and we'll go down to $75. It doesn't exactly make up for the groceries. It'll come out somewhere else in our budget today, I hope. I hope we don't have to come back and trim some of this. I think a family meal out is nice and important, but we'll have to see about that. So, okay, going down to gas and car wash, we're going to do $300 for gas. We're not going to do the big expensive car wash that we had been doing. Our kids are really wanting to do pay chores right now, and my husband likes going to this $10 car wash. So we're going to do $20 here and let the kids wash our cars this month. If they really want a pay chore and our car is really gross, then we're going to try that. We're going to see how it goes. So there's a little bit of extra money trimmed from our budget there. So we're going to try it and we'll see how it goes. We might go back up to getting the nice car wash that I love. That every other month we used to go. I would get my car washed really nice at this Inside Out place once a month, and then my husband would go the next month and get his car done, where they do the mats and the inside also. But we'll try. We'll let our kids do it. The phone bill is going up this month because my son had a free line for a year, and now we've added my daughter. So now we're up to $98 and some change a month for our phone bill, which I don't like, but we're going to be doing a little bit of shopping around for that. My husband's been doing some research, but I don't know exactly where it stands, so I'm not going to talk about it very much. Shopping is anything that's not at the grocery store, so anything that we would do on Amazon or maybe Target. Hair and cosmetics, I think it's the kids' turn to go. House cleaning is $0. I keep it on there because someday I'm going to get my house done. Kids events and birthdays, that's when they're invited to a birthday party or they go get invited to a youth group event or something. So that's what that is, and we put $150 in there. Now let's go over to lifestyle. Pet care gets $120. That's our dog subscription and all their pet food and anything that the chinchilla needs. And then the entertainment is, we put $71 in that. That's all of our subscriptions. It's a multi-line item thing. So that's our Netflix and our Disney, Bark subscription for the kids' phones, all of that's in there. The mosquito treatment, I kept calling it Mosquito Squad, but we switched companies. So that's $84 a month, which is one of the things that I had to change in my June budget because I think I budgeted like $34 or something and it was $84. I don't know how I did that. Education tuition at summer, don't have to worry about that. $0 in unplanned. Swim lessons, somebody blessed us with swim lessons. Last time I took my daughter, I was fully prepared to pay for swim lessons, but somebody who's been watching our Budget Babes videos just wanted us to keep paying it forward, keep doing what we're doing. They are really excited about this thing that we do where we're gathering every month and doing our budgets together and making these videos. And so they had already paid the instructor. So I was super excited and blessed, and thank you very much. I still haven't talked to that person to see if they want me saying their name or not. So I'm going to keep them anonymous for now. but I'm preparing to pay for the next set of lessons just in case, and I don't know exactly how much that would be, but I'm doing my best to prepare for that. I don't expect that sort of blessing, but I was very, very blessed by it. So I'm planning for that. That was another reason that I adjusted my June budget. Swim lessons was something that we decided to do after we built our June budget. So, and that's a rather large expense. So I needed to go back and adjust that into the June budget. And then pay chores is another new thing that I'm adding to the July budget that I went back and added to the June budget. I always offer my kids pay chores and they're really into them right now, and they're all saving up money for different things, and they're asking, hey, can I do a pay chore? Can I do a pay chore? Well, I'm going broke with trying to scrounge up enough cash to do the pay chores. So it's time to make that a line item because I want to properly pay my kids for the chores that they're doing, and I want to give them a fair wage. So I'm putting that as a line item. Okay, going down to the gym, that's $27. And last month, so for the past couple of months, this health category has been getting us because of the way that I was trying to use my HSA to pay for these things. And first the HSA wasn't going through, and then I had switched things to my HSA, which wasn't getting funded the way that I had asked for it to be, and then I switched things back to my credit card. So it was just going back and forth, and things were getting randomly put on our regular card instead of our HSA card. I think I've got it all figured out. In June monthly budget video, I was like, do I put money there or don't I? And I decided not to. And so far so good. I think we're not quite to the end of June yet. I'm doing this the week before July starts because I'm building my budget before the month starts. And so far so good. So I'm not going to put anything else in the health budget, and I'm going to count on my HSA working out. We're going to go down to debt. Our mortgage is, I always put $14.97 because it's actually like $14.60 or $14.96 and some change, which I can never remember. And then debt digging is $63. We do have medical debt now that is figured out that I have set up in my debt Free Friday tracker, but it is coming out of my HSA. So I'm not going to add that here in this monthly budget. You can go watch that Debt Free Friday video to figure that out. Insurance, I don't put anything in because that's a sinking fund. Spouse, he gets $50 in spending money. Okay, and my kids get their monthly income on the second Saturday of the month, and then they sit down and they budget with me. So they have to give, save, spend, and they all have emergency funds and different funds, sinking funds, things that they're saving for. And then I get $50 in spending money, and I think that covers all of the things. So if we come down here, oh, my scrolling's weird. Okay, so I had $7,058 in planned income. I have planned on $6,867 in expenses, which means I want this number to be zero, because if I'm over budget, I would have a red number here, and I would have to go cut things out of my budget. But I'm actually under budget, so I need to go apply this money somewhere. You always want your money you always want this difference to be zero so that every single dollar has a name. You have a plan for every single dollar. Otherwise, I'd be thinking, oh, I have $191 extra to spend this month. And I would actually spend it and not put it towards my goals and not have it do what I need it to do. And then I wouldn't just spend $191 because, $200 is close enough, right? So then that's how you get into these overspending situations. So I'm going to take that $191. My next goal in my extra income priorities list is sinking funds. And if you watched my sinking fund Saturday video, you can see that I have some sinking funds that really need to be met for July and August. So I'm going to take this $191 and I'm going to come over here to my lump sum sinking funds. I'm going to add it to that. So $706 plus $191. Was it just $191? Yeah. $191 equals $897 that I'm going to plan to put in my lump sum sinking funds. Now, even at the end of the month, when I close out this July budget, hopefully I will have underspent in enough categories that I can even get more deposited into my lump sum sinking funds. So that is how I do my monthly budget. And even with some of those changes, I didn't feel like it was too bad, not too stressful. So have you completed your monthly budget yet? If not, get to it. You can do it on pencil and paper. You can build yourself a spreadsheet. I will have these up soon, I hope. I'm working on it. It's more complicated than I thought to get these up online. I'm trying to do like tutorial videos and things like that. So I'm working on it, but keep going. You've got this.